Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is an exciting morning for me when it comes to the show. Our guest is a fan of the show that also has a YouTube channel that's doing some cool, incredible stuff. So I'm really excited to have our guest here. But before we jump into that, I do want to thank my sponsors, and I want to thank all of you for checking out the show on a regular basis. So first off, got to thank Magicwear for the wonderful jerseys. If you were here yesterday, Jennifer Mounts, she is the one that runs Magicwear for Magic Darts and A to Z Darts. And so awesome jerseys. This is one of their jerseys. It's the USA Darts Production jersey. So thank you to them for that. Make sure that you need some jerseys. Check them out over at Magicwear. And I want to also thank Shot Darts. They've just been a great supporter of the show and just of me in general throughout the years, the last couple of years. And so it's awesome that they're very good about that. And if you guys saw the video, I got the Kyle Andersons in. I'm finishing reviews up today, and then everything's going over. My edits will be done, and it goes to my editor who does all the splashy stuff. And so hopefully later this week, you'll start seeing those come up. And I want to thank Condor Flights and Shafts. Condor, they're doing cool stuff. I thought I had one around here. I don't. But really cool flights and shafts. And if you notice, Kim Hybricks and a number of other players are using their product now, and we'll get into a little bit of that during the show. So without any further ado, I'm super excited to introduce Mr. Bullseyes and Brewskis himself. It's the Roy boy, all the way from the East Coast. And yes, we're going to talk some West Coast, East Coast trash during this whole thing. Maybe some Jets trash too, because he is a Jets fan. Here is Roy. What's going on, Roy? How's it going, man?
Hey, good morning, Matt.
How are you?
It's a pleasure. Hey, I'm doing amazing, man. I'm really happy to be on. And I know for a lot of people watching this, either live or on the replay, they're probably going to say, "Who is this guy? Who's Bullseyes and Brewskis?" But that's the amazing thing about Coffee and Darts and Atomic Darts is you'll see managing directors from Shot, you'll see PDC players, and then you'll see Bombardiers and just diehard fans like myself. So it's just a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, and thanks for that little bit. I when creating this show, that was the idea, was to talk darts, but I want to talk from every aspect of it. I want players, I want manufacturers, right. I want new players, I want guys that are in the YouTube space. We should all be talking darts. So appreciate that. I'm glad that you're here, man. I'm really stoked. I know the whole thing about me playing with other people, I really want to do more of that. What I need to do is start setting some time aside on the afternoons. Because typically my kids go to bed when everybody's like, "Hey, let's play." And my son's room is literally right there. Okay. And it wakes him up. I've had him pop his head in like, "Hey, like you woke me up," and it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So anyway.
Yeah, I get in trouble all the time for waking people up. I know. It's my cross to bear for sure. It's part of it.
So, but we do need to play. We certainly do need to play. I'm looking at my grand board out of the corner of my eye. We need to get a game in. So we got to make that happen. Maybe I'll play my steel tip because it's quieter, and you can play your, we can do that whole thing. So I want to
done that.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to talk about that this morning. So that was awesome. I was at a park with my kids when that went off, and I sat there watching, and Dylan was like, "Okay, let me check this out." And he thought it was super cool.
It was.
But how did you, I got to start with the first question, the basic question. We got to change your mug up, man. You have a mug in the mail.
Yeah, this is old. Oh, this is really old school. It shows my age. It's a 1989 Mazda Gator Bowl from Mountaineer. So anyway,
that's cool support there, man. But I gotta send you a mug because we got to get you the right mug for next time you're on the show.
Definitely.
But how did you get into darts? What brought you to the darting world?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, it's several parts. I think first of all, I was a teenager. Late teenager, and my parents were in a dart league back in the mid 1990s, and they played on the I don't know if you remember the Valley Cougar boards, that.
Oh yeah.
So it just fascinated me just to watch all the rhetoric and the celebrations and just how happy they were, and it just drew my interest, and I just I would just go as a spectator. And as I got a little older, in my early 20s, I actually subbed a couple of times for them, and I was terrible, but I owned my first set of darts then, and I just, they were a cheap set of I don't even know what they were. Oh my gosh. I mean, they were, you know, $15 back then, but they were, you know, something to throw darts with, and I was hooked. But and then, you know, life happens. You have kids. You sort of settle down for a while, and then you start coaching sports. Starts coaching football and baseball, and you know, you kind of set those things aside. And I was so involved with that for so many years that you know, once the kids grew up and started graduating, and some of the sports were off the table, you know, you kind of gravitate back to what you felt, you know, what you loved all along, which at the time, believe it or not, was cornhole. And I was throwing cornhole out here because I had a neighbor. I don't know if you guys even know Shane. He's my partner in crime with Bullseyes and Brewskis. So he moved in beside us a couple of years ago, and I seen him outside, and I thought, I need a partner in crime here to throw some cornhole with. So we did that. And I did it all summer long. I even, you know, I have to go, I'm extreme. My wife will tell you, I can't just be normal. I have to go one step above, you know, so I'm getting these lights so we can play at night. You know, I'm getting, you know, you name it. I have to have all these extras to play cornhole. And then we realized, all right, now it's, you know, it's starting to get a little too cold to keep this going. You know, the ground's wet. We need something else to do. So I went to the local sporting goods store and bought a dartboard. And it wasn't regulation size. It was just the best they had at the time. Put it up on my wall and started throwing darts, and then realized how much I missed it. And then my brother would come over and play darts with me because he also had a lot of experience growing up with darts because of my parents. So then here comes Shane over here, and he never threw a dart in his life. So me and my brother in the middle of a cricket game, and Shane said, "I want to try." I said, "Oh, you can't compete with us, right?" And he's so hard-headed. He said, "Oh, yes, I can." So it was a mission for him to learn the game. So he's only been playing a year, and he's already in league. He's already doing amazing. He's running like a B average. I think he's throwing like close to a 20 and a 2, you know, an 0-1 in cricket already because he's so dedicated. So yeah, that's basically what got me into it, and now it's kind of gravitated back, and here we are. So. You know,
very
really
cool.
Excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sport that you play as a kid where you think it's a game, and then you realize as you get older that, whoa, this is way more. There's way more involved than just hanging out with buddies and throwing darts. So.
Oh yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys ever put your hand on the board and have your friends throw at it?
No, but you know what? Don't give us an idea because that could happen on one episode of Bullseyes and Brewskis. I'm sure my wife's a nurse. She would probably be really upset to hear that. That I might even be considering something like that. But.
Well, from a soft tip standpoint, it's probably not going to stick.
I don't know.
You know, it could. It could. Depends on how hard we throw this and where it hits.
Right.
But I know a steel tip, they do penetrate, and it doesn't hurt that bad. You just can't throw too hard when you're playing that game. But I had a buddy that got his friend stuck him in the eye. His brother. So it was my friend stuck his brother in the eye while they were goofing around. Yep, he had to go to the emergency room with the dart in his eye.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he was okay. It caught the white of the eye. He survived. The dartboard disappeared though.
I can imagine so.
Yeah, parents. Like, the best part about it is like neither of them got in trouble. The parents were like, "All right. You dumb enough to do that. We're taking the board away, but you guys are stupid." So I think it was because it didn't really damage anything and it didn't cost them anything. I'm sure if it had like ruined his eye, they'd both have been buried. But
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it was kind of. We were like, "You guys didn't get in trouble." We were like excited about it. You know, we're like, "Oh, cool, let's play." And they're like, "No, the board's gone." So cool. So you got back into it. So was this like 5 years ago?
No, actually, it wasn't. It was just a couple of years ago. And you know, like I said, we started with a cheaper, wasn't even a regulation size dartboard. So you know, as me and Shane started playing on a more regular basis, we realized, hey, we want to take this up a notch. You know, so I went and got a regulation size Arachnid Cricket Pro board. You know, and we were just like, wow, look, you know, what an upgrade. So we're like, we really have a decent dartboard to throw at now. You know, this is our mindset then. So, you know, we would play on that. We were keeping our own stats, you know, and then we realized that, hey, there's grand boards out there that actually, you know, you can play online, you know, it's stat tracks, you know, and And I was determined to get a grand board. And at the time, they were back ordered for like 7 months. So I was just waiting to get my hands on one. In the meantime, I think I've watched pretty much every YouTube video of every dart match I could ever imagine seeing. And yeah, I know I'm a soft tip player, but I can tell you that I love steel tip absolutely just as much. I've watched every steel tip match from Phil Taylor, from all the greats. And I remember, I started watching darts live tournaments. I watched Phil Taylor. I think he played the entire Japanese team on darts live, the entire team, and beat every one of them at soft tip. And I was just blown away. So I was like, Phil Taylor, I want to watch more Phil Taylor. So I started watching all his PDC events and just watching the players walk out, with the crowd and the rhetoric and the music, and it just engulfs you in this sense of like, oh man, you just can't get enough. And I'll just watch hours and hours of this. And I just try to soak up as much information as I can all the time. And and I'm still on that learning curve, but I just have that desire just to keep going and see how far we can take it. So,
yeah, I mean, for me, it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been 5 years since I've been back to darts. But I've always loved it. I've always watched. It was funny because I would watch it. I would catch the YouTube stuff and be like, oh, I'd see it and be like, oh, dude, let me watch this. That's so cool. But I was shooting archery. So I was watching a lot of archery videos, and of course, darts would come up with those videos, and I would watch the dart stuff just because I thought it was cool. And it reminded me from when I was a kid playing. And then I stole my son's board. I had gotten a board from a trade show. Actually, I was at a trade show where someone gave me a dartboard. It was a paper board where it was printed, and I'd given it to my son. Like, hey, so I've got my old ones. You guys all know about Dylan, my little, my two little ones. But I do have a 22-year-old who I never see.
Okay.
Yeah, he listens to the podcast because these all get turned into podcasts. So he listens to the podcast and he'll text me like crap about it. Like, oh, dude,
he'll critique Thanks. You a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I'm like,
I get a lot of that. Trust me, all the time.
But I stole his, like it was sitting in his room. I'm like, you never use this. And I threw it up one day and started throwing because I couldn't. It was like I can't shoot archery at 10 o'clock at night. Right. And this is when basically Dylan had come around, and so. Anyway, that's how I got back into it. Kind of like you. It was just, it happened because the outside wasn't allowing me to do the other sport I was doing.
Right. And, like I said, it was a couple of summers ago when, me and Shane started throwing darts together. But this whole last summer, I don't think we did anything but throw darts the entire summer. I mean, as far as any other sport or anything, that's what we did all summer.
It will consume you.
Oh, it has.
It certainly does. Hey, by the way, nice jersey. I just want to point that out.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Magicwear. That's right.
Nice.
And
nice. Those look good.
Right. Jennifer Mouse designed that, and we couldn't be happier with it. And I look forward to actually getting additional designs when we have our triples league coming up in the spring. So, and I think we'll probably have that in actual Bullseyes and Brewskis league. Right now, we're in it's a Vegas league through City Amusement here in West Virginia. So it's they're awesome jerseys though. Yeah, I'm very happy with them.
Very cool. Sorry, I was reading something. You know what? I just noticed this. We should have had you wear a different shirt, more like a snake bite type shirt.
Okay.
You kind of look like him, and I could have totally lied this one up.
He has a lot more hair than I do. Man, you know what? Actually, he is another one. Like, because I would watch YouTube, and my wife, trust me, I wouldn't be here without her. She's the most supportive person in the world, but she's very analytic, and detail oriented. And I'm the opposite, completely the opposite. I'm way more laid back. But anyway, I had her watch a walkout from Snakebite for the first time she's seen him walking out. And he did his little dance across the stage, and she just busted out laughing. She just thought it was hilarious. But I love his antics, though, for sure. Yeah, he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's good. He's good people. I got an opportunity to meet him in Vegas. Okay. Yeah, so that was cool. He was. They were bumming around the casino, and I was like, "Hey, Snakebite." I got the picture, but then he was like, "Talk." He was like, "Talk to me." And so we sat there chatting. I was surprised. He's normally really, really quiet. But he was like, no, let's talk. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. So
yeah, I mean, they're just regular people, and that's cool, man. That is.
And that's the interesting thing is they really are like the people even I've had on this show, and most professional athletes, honestly, there are some that unfortunately the money gets to their head or the fame gets to their head, but the majority of most athletes, and it's one of the things I like about darts is because even the superstars in the sport realize that, hey, I'm just a regular guy, just like you. They may be better at something than me, but I'm better at something that they're not better at, And then, like I was mentioning yesterday in the show, you talk about the ferret, and darts is a hobby for him, and this guy's winning tournaments, and he's like, yeah, it's just a hobby. I go back to my regular job every week because I love it. So,
man, that's a special breed of person that can play at that kind of level, though. And do that. There's not many of them.
No, not at all. I think about Larry Butler that was on last week.
Man. Wow.
Maintained his job the whole time.
Wow.
And wow, man.
That was one of the better streams that I've seen as far as just information. He is just packed full of information. I think he's just experienced. He's played for so long, and I just soak that up, when I watch players like him come on. It's great.
Yeah. So you've watched a ton of YouTube matches going back in the day. And you talked about Phil Taylor, watching some of his stuff. But what going back and thinking of some of the historical stuff, did you watch some of like the Bobby George type stuff?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, his battles with RVB too were great. And even his final match that he, when he lost to Rob Cross, I don't know. I felt like he was going to win that going in, and he was going to go out on top of the seat. But Rob Cross in that one, he played his, he was amazing. He threw an amazing game.
Yeah, I think here's my thing on it. I think Phil threw it just because so much product had come out with the 16 on it that year. Maybe if he'd gotten a 17th, it just would have really screwed everything up. So I think from a marketing perspective, he threw that match.
Yeah. I mean, and he was still on top for years after that. I mean, he could probably come back right now and compete. To be honest with you.
Oh, he could. I mean, he still competes in some stuff. He went and did soft tip right after the World Championships.
I've watched a lot of that on Darts Live, and that I think. Yeah, man, I watched a lot of Darts Live, but again, it's limited to certain markets, and they do the world where I think they have like 5 stages. Maybe I'm wrong by saying that. I think there's 5 world stages that they do, and man, there's some players that play in that I think cross over and do some PDC. But there's one player in mind that I really sort of gravitate to watch. There's 2 of them really. I think obviously Paul Lim. Everybody knows Paul Lim. I think if you watch any kind of darts, you know Paul Lim. But Boris Kursmar, if I'm saying that right, Croatian, that guy is a complete monster on soft tip. And I think he may have tried some steel tip at one point. I'm not really sure at what level. I haven't watched too much of that, but I know his soft tip, he is just, I don't know that I've seen a more dominant soft tip player than Boris myself. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
he is a monster.
There are some soft tippers that have crossed over to the line and are in the PDC. So why am I blanking on his name? Menser played soft tip at one point. Yeah. And you can tell the soft tippers because of some of their outs. They're the outs that they like more than others.
And I think that's one of the big differences, at least from my standpoint, is just the muscle memory that you develop. I know, like being a cricket player, you just have this muscle memory that, you want a lot of your triples, at least for your outs, and obviously you want to hit a lot of your bowls right in your 0-1 because they're worth 50. Yeah. So that you tend to gravitate a lot of your muscle memory towards that and not always your, let's say your triple 20s or your doubles. But again, playing online on the Grand, you know, we've set our 501 to the steel tip rules many times and have, you know, double out 25-50 bulls. So, I mean, you can customize it any way you want to play. But I think as far as if you're looking at league rules, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. You can usually tell, you know. For sure.
Yeah. Will Stewart chimed in and said Boris is playing in the World Championships this year. I thought I had heard that, but I didn't want to chime in. So,
all right.
So that's going to be exciting. I mean, that'll be pretty cool. And I have seen him play, and he is a phenomenal player. So excited about that one. Speaking of soft tip and steel tip, I want to talk a little bit about this match that you had with Michael Holdman.
Okay.
So, you know, I mentioned this on the show a few weeks ago when it, you know, right after it happened, but how did you guys come up with this idea and what exactly was it? It was soft tip versus steel tip.
Right. So that was actually Michael's idea. And he messaged me and asked, you know, hey, do you think we could put something together like this? And I said, absolutely, yes. I love that idea. I said, we can make it happen. We'll find a way to make it happen. So we sort of talked and came up with a strategy. And I was surprised on, you know, some of the feedback I've received from that match, you know, some of the positive feedback. And, you know, hopefully that opens some doors for, you know, some more of that to come. I would like to do it again. I know that I've talked to a couple of others who wants to do some similar things, you know. So yeah, I would like to do it again. I thought it was great.
Can you explain a little bit about like what you guys did? Because he was playing on a steel tip board and you were playing on the Grand board. So how did that work?
Yeah. So what we did is we started out playing, we played in 01 with the steel tip rules. And what I would do is we had a camera set up on the side that we were viewing, and I was looking at his board, and I had a speaker. Then he was telling me what his score was as I was seeing it, and I was entering it in my Grand board. So it was basically like just entering his scores into my Grand during our play. So the camera was showing the board and the score on my TV, but yet I was seeing a separate camera from his board and a separate audio of what he was hitting. So that's how we were scoring it. And so we did some steel tip rules in 01. We did some soft tip rules in 01, and we did some cricket. And man, it was fun. That guy can play. Michael can play. You know, I mean, he is a very good dart player, and he's definitely can hit his double outs. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, his outing is very good. So
yeah, I think he hit a 1080 right off the bat in cricket. I mean, just right off the bat. I mean, he's, you know, I was like, what are you doing here? Like, give me a break. No, it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I was watching that while I was at the park with the kids, and I saw that, and I was like, dude, he just crushed 180 because I had the opportunity to play him. Yeah. He and I played a little while back, and it was on the steel tip board, which again is a little bit easier for me because it doesn't rattle, you know, or make the thump that the soft tip boards do. So we were playing, and he beat me. I think I was scoring better than him, but then when it came to the doubles, his average had to be in the 80% plus hitting his doubles. I don't think. When he came to a double, there was very few where he had to go more than 2 darts. Right. He crushes that outer ring. So it's kind of fun. Yeah. So anybody out there, Michael Holdman, you know, find him on Facebook. He'll play you. Guys at B. Speaking of which, today is the 10th. Today is the day, and thank you, Roy, because I know you donated to this. Oh yeah. I want to bring this up real quick. And I'll find the link and put it in the post, but Michael's son works with this organization, Brother Vinny's, who provides disabled veterans or homeless veterans with stuff as far as linens and home goods for when they get them an apartment or a place to live. So these are guys that have been injured, you know, protecting our freedoms, maybe homeless, you know, and based off of whatever their circumstances are, but they have served us, you know, putting their lives on the line, putting, you know, themselves out there for us, and they need a little help from us. And so it's a matter of just going and buying some home goods on this link from Amazon. And I am giving away, I'm going to pull a name later today. I've got a list, but I'd like the list to grow. So anybody watching this, or however, if you would go, and I'll put the link in here, you can go to Michael Holdman's page, buy something, anything off that list, and you are in for the drawing. And I'm giving away a set of the Atomic Darts barrels, which, by the way, I'm right over there on that other computer. I'm working on getting them listed. They will be listed today, finally.
I can't wait to see those. Those look really good, at least from the picture.
I love throwing them. They're pretty sweet. So they'll be up. I don't have the box that they're really going to go in, so they're coming with the little plastic case for now. Anybody that buys a set, I'll send you the box. But you're going to get a free set of those. You're going to get a set of the Eagle barrels. I've got a set of steel tip and soft tip. You could pick what you want from there. You're going to get a hat. You're going to get a mug. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to give away. You guys just need to donate to this. And during the show, I'll pop in the link. So
yeah, what a better cause. I mean, we donated, and I shared the link, on my social media. But we're going to talk about it on my tonight. I'm going to do a special edition live stream. We're going to do a 3-on-3 tournament tonight, and this probably for an hour or so. But I'm going to talk about that as well, because it's an amazing cause.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet little thing that his son's doing. And again, this is his son who's been doing this for a little while, and it's cool that they're putting it together. So I'm finding the link right here. Pop this in here for you guys. So here's the link. Just click on this, follow it, go buy something off that link, and let me know. DM me or email me, and I'll put you in for the drawing, which I'll do later this evening. I'm going to give it most of the day to do. So other thing I want to talk about, or at least something else I want to talk about, other than the Jets sign that's behind your head there. We won't.
Sorry about that, everybody.
we won't talk about the
Usually
Jets.
I put a paper bag over my head when I stand there that sign, but okay.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, I spent 50 years in Missouri, so
right,
I didn't actually live in Missouri, but I root for a team out of Missouri, which is kind of weird. But I'm a Chiefs fan, and I grew up with a Charger, Junior Seau, and I dated his cousin. And,
really?
Oh yeah. I went to Oceanside High, same high school as him. Know a lot of his family, and
stay on his good side, right?
Stay on his. He was actually pretty. He was pretty humble. But I got some stories. If anybody ever wanted to get into some stories, everybody's got stories, and of course he's got some good ones. So, but he was a good guy. He was a good guy in the community, and but anyway. Not to get into football, because I could. We could.
Oh, we definitely could. We could talk about football too.
we could go that route. So, but I noticed behind you that grand board you got there. You got some kind of like thing on the grand board.
I do. Yeah.
And I think you did a review on that thing. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, this is a form-fitting light ring that was engineered for the grand board by a company called Luminous Light Rings. And I think they're out of Ohio. You can buy this on the grand board site, or I think there's a couple of other sites that you can get it on. It's kind of a high price point. I think it's about $165. But it's again, there's no hardware. It just slides right over your board, and it is super bright. And also, there's a attachment that will fit a steel tip board as well, that you can just fit right over your steel tip board, and then it fits within the ring for the grand board. And again, there's no hardware required. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
I saw your review yesterday. It looks like a pretty nice piece of equipment. Put the 180 light above my grand board, and I'll tell you, and I wish I had done this when I did the review on that light. And I actually had someone make a comment on the light, and I think they were right. I didn't throw any darts to show any shadowing when I did that review, and I did the review as I was putting up the Nexus board, and so I threw darts. Anyway, what I noticed with the grand board, and this will be part of a review coming out next week between the grand board and the Nexus, but with the lighting, the grand board, basically like where the wire would be on a steel tip, it actually sticks out a little bit. So the segments are set back on the grand board.
Okay, so you have a little bit of shadowing then.
And you get shadowing from that upper light from the 180.
Yeah. I can
the
see
180 light, which is a sweet light. But so I'm really interested in your light and seeing how it dilutes any shadowing.
It
So
absolutely does, and and again, it's a very pure LED. I mean, it's a white type of a light. It's easy on your eyes. I know before I had some track lighting, and yeah, I mean, it worked, but I had quite a bit of shadowing on that. And I just got used to it, I guess. But then, you go to play in your league, and you got all this beautiful light, and it's just such a different contrast to your eyes. It almost kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say it affects you too much, but it's a noticeable difference. So I said, hey, I want to get a light at home where it's kind of evens the playing field there between how we play in our league and then how I play here. So
yeah, and light's nice. It's nice to have
oh yeah, you can't see what you can't hit, or you can't hit what you can't see, or however, or probably both. But
and unless you're Peter Wright and you just take your glasses off and you crush it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something I noticed when I started looking at the two boards, because the Nexus, everything's flush.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'm curious, who makes that light?
Luminous light rings.
Luminous light rings. I might have to pop for one just to do the review on it. So check it out.
Yeah, they're real quick. I know when that's why I ordered mine. It's pretty much as soon as they hit the Grandboard site, and I think at that time they had like 39 remaining, and that was like, I don't know how long, within a couple of weeks ago. So
okay, I'll go check and see if I can come up, because that's always been the thing, is how do you light it? And I know like A to Z Darts Gen Mounts, they came up with some way to light.
Yeah, I've seen that. Seen that. That's pretty cool too. I think they're actually pairing that with the Grandboard too, right? I think.
Yeah, they've got it. They've got it on special right now. That ends today.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
Yeah, I just mounted. So I had the Target ring, the metal one, and because you can screw that into the wall, and I just flared out the feet and screwed it into the wall, and that's what I had lighting my Grandboard for the longest time. So it's going in Dylan's room to light his Grandboard because he's complaining about the lighting. He's 6. What does he know?
Yeah, he plays beyond his years. He's definitely good. I miss watching those Darts with Dylan episodes because it reminds me of my kids. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she's not quite as far along in darts as Dylan, but I tell you what, she may end up being one of the next up-and-coming female players out of this state for sure, if she sticks with it, because she's definitely has the ambition to throw darts. And, half of my kids do, I mean, and I think that's so important. I mean, if you teach your kids a sport when they're young, they generally gravitate towards it. And if they don't see it when they're young, a lot of times, it just really wasn't incorporated in them, so they could really care less as much when they get older. But when you teach them young, I think it's gonna plant a seed. If they don't play maybe right away, when they get older, they're gonna remember throwing with dad, and they're gonna want to do that again. So I try to teach that. I know that. I mean, for those of you that watch Bullseyes and Brewskis, that is our alter ego. I mean, it really is. But we take darts very seriously, and we respect the sport highly. And we do have dart etiquette, and we do want to teach the sport. We're still learning ourselves, obviously. I mean, I learn every day something new. But I really want to see kids play darts, and I'm all for ideas of how we can grow that. Definitely. Because darts are pretty much in the pubs right now. Hey, I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, we need to find a way to get the kids interested in it. Just for, I mean, there's so many aspects about it that are huge. There's the math aspect, which is cool. You do learn the combinations of the dartboard, which helps you in other aspects. Definitely. But there's the camaraderie. There's the the team play. I mean, we just watched the World, and those teams, those players who typically, want to crush each other at the hockey. Let's be honest. I mean,
they're enemies, and then afterwards, they're best friends, right?
They're best friends. But in this format, they played as a team, which was awesome to see them, pumping each other up and being like, "Hey."
Oh man, there's a couple of people in our league that would have loved to have take me outside and show and give me a lesson during the games. I'm just letting you know right now. And we're best friends. We're a family. We're a dart family, and that's something darts do. It brings people together. I cannot tell you how many people have come in this house, played darts, and never held a dart before ever in their hand, and they would watch us play darts first. They would throw darts, and they would have such a good time. They all own dartboards now, or want to own a dartboard, or asking me where to get a set of darts, or and just like everybody. you know,
Yeah.
and it does bring people together. It really is. It's just as much social as it is competitive, and I think that is the seed of Bullseyes and Brewskis. You know, it shows the, you know, it shows the, how am I going to put this? Not necessarily just the competitive side, but the fun side of darts, right? I mean, you know, why do you throw in the first place? So. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think bringing the kids into it, you know, one thing you can't do while you're throwing darts is play on your phone.
Yes.
So you have to interact with human beings.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll find a way to do that, though, if you give them enough time. Yeah. But, you know, and that's one good thing about online darts as far as, you know, how would kids play? Well, there you go. Online darts are growing, you know. I mean, it's huge. You look in the grand lobby on any day, and there are so many people willing to play at all age levels, at all skill levels. Doubles, singles, ABCs, all the way up, you know, you name it. You can tweak it like you like. And I'm sure that, you know, kids can get right on there too and have put together any kind of league they want, you know, put together their own groups. And, you know, they're not necessarily, you know, the only way they can play is to go down to a pub that they can't get into. So, right. So
yeah,
they can play online. So that's a great thing.
I hope to one day have enough monies to create something called, you know, Coffee and Darts, where it's a coffee shop with dartboards.
Yeah.
And then families can come in and play. We'll do family night.
Yeah, that would be
really
really
like
cool.
Miniature golf, you know, but it'll be darts, and we'll make it go national and become, okay. So that's a big dream, but it would be kind of
cool. Yeah. My wife says this darts are basically just a drinking game, but you know, hey, it's not. It's more than that.
You can drink coffee while you're playing darts, you know.
Right.
So,
yeah. Here's our brew this morning. Right. So
exactly.
I like to talk a little bit more about that too. I know. I had watched you. I had made an earlier comment about how you'd have you know, like the shot director Peter. Peter was on your show. And I watched that, and, you know, I said, you know, at that time, I was just so ambitious to just learn everything I can about darts. I actually emailed Peter because I had this idea for these dart barrel designs. And I just thought, all right, I want Peter to hear this. So I emailed Peter with my idea for these dart barrel designs. And I don't think he probably thought too much about my ideas, but I think he liked my ambition. So he set me up with their brand manager, Gemma, and we did a couple of interviews, and they were really excited about, you know, the direction that I was wanting to take darts and the ideas I had and my ambition. So, you know, we're actually partnering with a local business here, American Billiards, and they sell the Shot brand. So we're sort of being an ambassador with Shot and American Billiards right now. So we're kind of getting that thing off the ground, and that's really cool. Now, Shot is not any way affiliated or sponsored with Bullseyes and Brewskis. This is more of our dart league and just with American Billiards. So I don't want anybody to think that they're sponsoring Bullseyes and Brewskis. But anyway, it's a start because, you know, I'm like you. I'm just diehard Shot. I really believe in their brand and their message, and not to mention they have amazing dart barrels too, for sure.
Yeah, great company. And Peter's, I mean, they really care about the darts player and the community, which is really awesome. And you can get a custom set from them. You just have to buy 50 of them,
right?
Which is basically how I got my barrel. You know, I've had a couple of people ask me, like, did they donate? And I said, no, I worked with their team to design it. I had something in my head, and I said, here's what I'm thinking. And they said, okay, you'll go play with some barrels and tell us things you like about barrels and grip and all this other stuff. And they came up with some ideas, and we tweaked it. It took months. Tweaked it. And then I got I bought the 50 barrels, you know, and so I now have to sell them to get back my monies so I can buy more. And that's kind of so they're working on it. I'll tell you this, talking with Peter, because we've had a couple conversations.
Oh, he's a real person, isn't he? He's great. Yeah.
He's a good guy, and they're working on a program to be able to do custom one-offs. They're working on it. It's just those machines cost a ton of money. Those lathes that they use, and they're working the program out. They said within the next 2 years, they hope to have something where they can do that, but it's on their radar. So it's cool that you reached out to him too, because
like I said, I don't know. Just I don't know. I said, hey, I'm just gonna go for it. You know, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? He won't answer my email. But he did, and he, you know, hey, who knows? Maybe my deal will be in next year's lineup.
Yeah. You never know, man. You never know. It could happen.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I want to talk a little bit about Bullseyes and Brewskis and the channel itself, and you know, where did this come from? What's the concept, and what are you guys doing? Like, I've watched it, I know, but I just want to share it.
Okay. So I think it all came, and I mean, you obviously know Jen Mounts is definitely an inspiration to me. I've watched just about all of her videos, and you know, she really does have a lot of good material on her Jen Mounts design site. That she was on Your Coffee and Darts and had made a reference to, hey, you know, be your own brand. I don't care if you're throwing darts at your dartboard with your iPhone. Be your own brand, do your own thing. So then it kind of hit me. I'm like, you know what? You know, we can show the recreational side of darts. We don't need to be the technical side. You know, we don't have to know everything about a dart in particular, as far as the weight, you know, the setup, you know, the professional end of it. We can show the recreational side of it. You know, what do people do when they have fun and throw darts? And that's the brand that we wanted to show. And, you know, it's kind of a laugh at first. You know, I just thought, well, you know, we'll just do it a couple of times and we'll have 0 viewers, but we're going to have a blast doing it. And then we had a few viewers and a few ideas. And as far as the tech goes, it's not very good right now. But, you know, our plan is to really kind of ramp this thing up in 2021. And we're going to try to make it much more legitimate and have much more streamlined matches. We already have some things in works with, you know, there's a channel out there called Soft Tip Central Network. I believe it's in the UK. Those guys, now I can tell you, they play Grandboard League, and they're soft tip. They play Grandboard League, and then they just play, you know, sort of how we do. So we've been kind of in talks of trying to set something up with them to have a match. I know there's a couple other bombardiers on here. Nils Darts, he has a Nexus, and he wanted to get something together with, hey, how can we play Nexus first grand? So we're in talks of doing that. You know, so we're wanting to get more creative, maybe do some more things with Still Tip. You know, so we love the ideas, the comments. You guys just keep messages. Let me know what you guys would like to see. And again, as far as the tech goes, we're going to definitely try to get, you know, some more sophisticated equipment so the streams are smoother, because sometimes they are, and then sometimes I go look back, I'm like, oh, that's not too good. So, you know, like I said, we're going to ramp that up for sure. As far as reviews goes, we'll do a review here and there. But I think the essence of us is just the live streams. And we're going to do one tonight, too, probably around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to do a triples tournament. Probably mix up a little 0-1 and cricket and have a few laughs. And yeah, it's really, you never know what's going to happen on our stream. So I'm warning you ahead of time.
That's funny.
You never know what you might hear, and you never know what you might see. And I warn you ahead of time. So
it is an adult show.
It
definitely is an adult show. So
yes. Yeah. We had a costume party for Halloween. We had girls. We brought our wives on, girlfriends on, and had fun with that. And you know, and I can tell you, my brother, his name is Steve, and he is also now part of Bullseyes and Brewskis. We have Shane Lindsay, my neighbor. He's part of Bullseyes and Brewskis, and then myself. And they're also on our Vegas Dart League team, and that is Flight Crew. We have Luke, Kirby, myself, Steve, and Shane. We're currently in first place by 28 games, and if we win, we go to Vegas and compete. You know, for who knows?
Nice.
Maybe I can put a trophy next to the grand board.
There you go. That's sweet. Nice job, man.
Yeah, and that's a whole other story right there on even how I got to play in league, because, you know, again, you know, we're sitting here throwing darts and we can't get enough of it. We want to upgrade our darts, upgrade our boards. We're watching videos like, well, we need to do more. We need to play in leagues. So, you know, where do we start? And it so happened my barber, Luke, I had no idea that not only has he been in league for 20 years, but he has won Vegas tournaments, and he is huge in league. And he played in a league right down from the barbershop where I get my haircut from. And so I said, you got any openings? He's like, actually, yeah, we do have one opening. You can be an alternate in our triples team. That was last year. And I filled in one week and I was hooked. I was like, this is my family away from my family. This is it. I'm hooked. So, we grabbed Shane, and we got Luke, and Kirby. He's the captain, and yeah, we said this is gonna be our legendary year. This is when we win it all. So I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too for you, man. That's cool. That's awesome. Hey, I do want to do a quick shout out to Jason Ives. He bought a coffee maker this morning off the link. So
hey, good.
Thank you, great. Jason, for doing that. Your name's in that drawing, man. If good luck and hopefully you win. I did post a link to Brewskis or Bullseyes and Brewskis. I always want to say Brewskis and Bullseyes, but Bullseyes and Brewskis. Guys, go check it out. Become a fan. Jump on, that stuff, man. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube,
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, subscribe, like it. Do the social medias with them. I will say I've watched most of what you've put out there, and it's fun. It's cool. And I like the reviews. The tech stuff. You're always tweaking and playing and working on tech stuff. I've got some ideas I'm going to try with some of this camera stuff, so it's not so up in here, but it's a little bit bigger, wider, showing off some more of the stuff. So it's a constant tweak. But I love what you guys are doing. I think it's awesome. I don't know, like, this is just something I'm hoping to see is a little bit more between the three of you, kind of the characteristic parts of it, right? Almost creating the characters of who you are and playing off of it, from a show standpoint. But I love what you guys are doing. It's cool. Again, I watch most of what you're doing. I like the reviews. I do have a question.
Okay.
The Magicwear, I don't know, what is that, tablecloth runner or whatever that is?
Yeah, you like that? Again, I'm a persistent guy, man, right? So, before I got my channel started, I said, hey, I need some backdrops. I need something. So I was just emailing everybody from Target, from Magicwear, from Shot, saying, hey, can you send me anything you got? So if you know A&Z, I mean, you've been dealing with A&Z, Kelly for sure. Yeah, right. So I traded a couple of emails with Kelly, and she said, hey, I'm going to send you a backdrop. One of our, and it's, my goodness, it's way too big for me to put on my wall. So I just put it over my table, and it's a nice little, gives me a good background for when I do reviews.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I noticed it right off the bat. I'm like, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'll have to send you. I got some stuff laying around here. I got something I got to send. I need to do more of that. That's my, as much as I know about social media and about marketing, because I've spent years studying it. The Passion of the Christ, I worked on all the marketing for that. The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, I worked with Disney on marketing that movie. So I've been in the marketing realm for many, many, many years. I suck at doing it for myself. I can tell you how to do it. I can help you do it. I can show you how to do it. But it's like, I'm a home inspector primarily. Don't inspect my home because most of it's wrong. And I installed a lot of it. It's kind of like one of those situations.
Yeah.
You never you never check an accountant's books because personal books, because they're a mess, but he'll tell you how to do them right.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know. I call this my dark room now, but I think initially it was supposed to be a dining room. So now we have an eat-in kitchen. So, that just lets you know the support for my wife, because everything in here is darts pretty much now. And I just, maybe one day when I get enough collected, I'll do a little walk around of the room and show all the little tidbits I have. And
dude, that'd be cool. So, I like the room you guys got going. You got it going on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we like it. Yeah. And like I said, we're excited for things to come. And again, I'm a big promoter of online darts, not just for Grand Board, but anybody that wants to play online. I just feel like the level of competition is endless, because I know, if you play the same people for long enough, you kind of get used to their throwing styles and you get used to things. And then you step out of the box and things are a little different. But when you play online, you really never know what you're going to get as far as competition. And I think it just really makes you a better player. And not to mention, I think Jen Mounts mentioned this on one of her old videos about how, you really want to promote spectator development, and how do you do that if the only people that see darts are playing in the leagues?
Yeah.
And spectator development would promote local sponsorship for teams. The more people that are interested in watching it, the more people interested in sponsoring it. So, I think that's the key, is to bring this online, have more people that view it and then would gravitate towards wanting to watch it. And yeah, Steel Tip is amazing. Trust me, I respect Steel Tip. I love Steel Tip. But to me, I'm a soft tip player. And I think here in this market, it seems to be that, is soft tip is the game of choice. So, I just think that, to play that online is you're just going to get more people that's interested in playing as well. So
For sure. The more eyes, the more money. We all know that.
And anybody with a grand board, send me your information and we'll get something going.
Yeah, guys. Put in your grand IDs and
we'll do it.
Look it up. So I want to ask you, because we're getting close to what I call landing the plane.
I call last call.
Yeah, kind of last call. That's your last call. I'm landing. I got to come up with something better. But my darts. This is interesting though. The darts, the way we named the first barrel was the B-52.
Yeah.
So we're landing the bomber because we're dropping the bombs. Anyway, I'm curious, and this might actually be an episode that we do at some point. But the how do you have things hooked up? What are you doing to show yourself as you're playing? Because you've got like a side camera situation, but I think the big hurdle for a lot of people is the tech side of, okay, I've got this grand board. I know I can play through the app, but how do I do a camera?
Right.
How do I get it to, connect to my TV? How are those things, to a monitor or TV, whatever it might be? Right. How, those little pieces, what are you guys using? How are you guys doing it?
Okay. So we have one of these connectors. You can partially see, I think back there I have a TV on the wall, and it has a retractable arm that you can pull out. And I have a camera mounted on the side of the room. You can't really see it from this angle. But anyway, so what I do is I have a adapter for the Apple iPhone that'll go to your TV. So it's the HDMI to whatever the iPhone connector is, whatever you want to call that. Lightning port? Yeah, Lightning to HDMI connector. So that's how I connect it to the TV. So everything goes up on the TV. And then what I do is I really want the camera to show the darts hit the board, and I want them to be able to see the score on the TV. But then after I throw, then I have a light that sets up that kind of lets me get in front of the camera and kind of narrate what's going on. But I mean, ultimately I want a camera just on us, and that's my goal, is to have a camera that people can see the score, and then a camera that sees us all the time. And that kind of goes back to how you said you like to see the individual personalities from all of us, because we have a quiet one, and then we have one that's kind of in between, and then we have me, which I never shut up. So, I think it's important for us moving forward to get a separate camera. So that is definitely something we're going to work on for sure.
Yeah. I like your setup though. You definitely can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Which is always the big question that people get is like, hey, I want to see the board, but I want to see the people too.
Yeah. You have to be able to see us.
That's kind of the downside to all the virtual stuff currently. I think this will get corrected here. I think, as far as the match tournament type stuff happenings, I think we'll see some clicking and changes. But I want to see the people, the throw, the personality. You watch PDC. I think that's one of the beautiful things about it is you can see when they're pissed off, when they're upset. Michael Smith with his back to the board when he's not throwing all the time.
Right.
I think that's a cool aspect of the visual from a watching standpoint. So.
Yeah, and like I said, when we get together on these streams, it's just strictly to have fun. But we're still competitive. We want to win. But off camera, sometimes I'll play people, and I may play for 2 or 3 hours in the evening, and I am literally dialed in. It's nothing but competitive play, and it's, it's pretty hardcore play. But again, when the cameras are on and Bullseyes and Brewskis are on, trust me, we're high-fiving, we're having fun, and I don't know where it's going to go. But you're always going to see something entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to figure this. So I got to figure out how to make this thing work. I don't know if I got to create a room. I don't have a big backyard, but I might my wife has been nice enough to let me take over 3/4 of the garage.
Yeah.
But I might have to be like, babe, I'm sorry. I'm building something outside because then I can make noise. I got to figure I'm gonna figure it out because I love what you guys are doing, and I need to bring back the playing with Dylan because Dylan and I play constantly.
I love that in the mornings, man. You know, because like I said, I work. You know, I have a desk job, so you know I'm working, and then I'd have that on the side, and I'm kind of listening to that and watching that while I work, and that was just really helps pass the time. That was very. I know others felt the same way. They really like watching that too.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that back. I'm gonna figure that out. Funny thing, that cabinet I showed last week. I got one coming, man.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, where it's I should bring it up again real quick, but it's the cabinet that has all 3 dartboards in it because I have 3. I have all 3 boards.
Oh, that's too awesome, man.
I talked with those guys. I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. And I don't know how long it takes for them to manufacture it, but when it gets here, we're doing a review on it, and they have it set up where it's got multiple camera views. They've got a camera so that it's looking at you, and then they have a camera that's on the board. So that it's all integrated into their little TV piece that comes on it. So
yeah, that is awesome. I've had my eyes on a similar one that is sold on that Land of Oz arcades. I think they're somewhere out Midwest. They do a lot of grand board customized cabinets, and they can range from just the freestanding to the
wall mount.
Right, wall mount.
Yeah,
and man, they're really nice. But
that's boom darts.
Got to have some coin for that, but they're definitely nice.
Yeah, Boom Darts is the one I'm getting it from, and it's not a cheap piece, but for me, I'm like, I gotta have it, man. I'm like, okay, what kid can I sell to afford that thing?
Man.
Okay, cool.
My wife tells me all the time, like, you need to go out and get another job if you buy one more thing related to darts, one more thing, and Hey.
I do side jobs. Like, I don't make any money doing any of this. Everybody's like, oh, you're sponsored. I'm like, yeah, but it costs money. To do this, I got to pay for the programming, and then I do the podcast, and that costs money to actually produce that and put it anyway. So I don't really do. So my wife's like, okay, you got to have a side gig. You got to go make money. Yeah. So I have some side stuff I do to make.
They keep us balanced. I know they keep us balanced. So it's
cool.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, spouses
we
are good,
have
man.
A roof over our heads because if it's me, I would probably do so much darts. I wouldn't think about anything else if it wasn't for her. She's the yin to my yang. She balances me out for sure.
For sure, dude. I can imagine where I'd be living if it was just me, man. Oh my
gosh, yeah, I'd probably be living in the dart bar, in the back somewhere. They just wheel me out to throw darts, and wheel me back in when it's over, something like that. But
all right, you're done, buddy.
Yeah, I'll seriously, or to be serious though, honestly, I would love to get something set up with you one time, Matt. I know you're a busy guy, but maybe sometime we can get a match on and go live and see what happens. At least for a short amount of time.
I'm looking at my board going, dude, we got to make this happen. I need to clear up time. I need to clear up some time in my life to do that more. So, yeah. No. You're right, dude. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I could drop.
Man. Get the wheels turning. I'm ready.
Let's make it happen. Yeah. I want to play more people. I would rather at night, instead of doing reports and work, I would rather just come out here and play darts for 3 or 4 hours every day.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, dude, that's
it would be nice.
Like I'm sitting like 11 o'clock last night. I'm finishing up reports, and I'm like, dang, I really want to play some darts right now, but it's 11 o'clock, and I'm tired. But
let you throw a couple anyway. I'm sure. I know I do. But I want to give a couple of shots out real quick. I want to give a shout out to my son Noah and Nick and Braxton and Lily, my brother Steve, our whole dart team, flight crew. Right here. Yeah. I always get it mixed up on camera. So anyway, hey, it's been a pleasure being on Coffee and Darts. And again, you guys, if you haven't heard of me, it's okay, because keep watching the show and you will hear of a lot of guests. He has fans on, he has PDC players on, he has everybody on. It's the most amazing dart channel out there.
Sure. Thank you, man. Thank you for being on the show. Excited. You guys go check out Bullseyes and Brewskis. I make sure you guys are fans of that, because it's fun. It's just a bunch of cool guys having fun playing darts, and you get wrapped up into it like you're there. So, hey, man, go have fun. Enjoy it. And hey, Thursday, I got Sharon Butler. She's going to be on the show. So this is Larry Butler's wife. We get her perspective, the spouse's perspective of being, involved with a professional darts player and a highly, highly decorated professional darts player. She also is part owner in I just blanked on that. Galaxy Darts. That's horrible. So we're going to get to hear from that perspective, because she's manufacturing darts, so we can hear about that. So it's going to be fun and exciting to have her on. Dude, I am so happy that you and I got to do this.
Oh, man, me too. Definitely great opportunity.
Tons of loads of fun. Yes, we got to play soon. I'm thinking Wednesday night or Friday night this week. We might be able to make that happen.
Hey, I'm always good.
Yeah.
Always good for darts.
Whether it's just you and me or whatever, let's do it. Let's make it. Let's figure it out,
man. Okay.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go because I know you got to get back to work, and I got to.
Yeah, about to put the tie back on and get back to the office.
Exactly. Hey, everybody. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out, and don't forget to check out Magicwear. You get to see multiple jerseys here as to what Magicwear can do for you. Check out Shot Darts. Again, they love the community of darts, and of course, Condor Flights. Man, Kim Hybricks came back. He was losing this morning, came back and won it, and it was all due to his Condor Flights and shafts. I swear that's what it was. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Hey, Roy, if you'll stay on for just a second as the show ends, we'll catch up. All right. Thanks, guys.